Hello and welcome to the Weeball Podcast. I'm Luke Crummage. Joining me is Tyler DeSena as always. And joining us this week is Princeton wide receiver Andrei Iosivas. Andre, how we doing, buddy? Nice to have you on. We got to speak to you down in Mobile. How's it going, man?
Sure. I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be on here and talk to you boys about football and stuff like that. So let's get it.
All right, perfect. Speaking of the Senior Bowl, we're going to dive right into that. How was that experience for you? Because obviously it's a leg up on the
Right.
competition going into the combine. So just how was that for you and starting your draft process that way?
Yeah, it's definitely super exciting. I mean, just all that, the hype kind of coming into it. I mean, not the hype. I mean, as much hype as a small school guy can get, going into the Senior Bowl. I know everyone was really excited to watch me like just move around and see, oh, can this guy really move? Can he catch? All this kind of stuff. So I was really excited for that just to, kind of compare myself to these higher quality guys. The thing that was crazy though is like we don't really do one-on-ones at Princeton. So, and I don't face a lot of men at Princeton. So like for me, I was like, oh shoot, I haven't done one-on-ones in like 4 or 5 years, bro. Like, and I gotta go against these dudes and do one-on-ones now. So it was cool though. I mean, I think I held my own. I definitely got better, but I mean, it was just a crazy experience because I was like, yeah, I had to compete against these dudes for like for like a bunch of money basically, and it was kind of crazy, but it was a super good experience, and I mean, I'm just glad I was able to go out there and compete.
Definitely. And what was the like prep experience like going into that week, knowing that you're going to be talking to a bunch of coaches, a bunch of different like scouts and people who essentially want to know who
Mhm.
you are as a person and as a football player. What
Right.
was that prep like mentally?
It's just kind of just be yourself. I mean, if you want an organization that's gonna take you for who you are as a person, not some facade that you put up. You know what I mean? So you don't want someone to just like draft you because oh he was acting like this, but then you're not really like that. You want to go to a place that fits you. So people were just telling me just be yourself. Like it's gonna be a long process. Obviously, you got to keep your keep your hand in the game, but just be yourself, and that should be good.
So obviously the Senior Bowl is only a week, but they do install a what feels like a full playbook with what we see you guys run out there, and you have all these practices.
Yeah.
How was that for you learning basically an NFL playbook for that short of amount of time spent, while prepping to do these one-on-ones and do other stuff that you haven't done in a while?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it was a lot, but people done it have done it before me, and everyone else is there doing it with you. So I guess just because you have the like a lot of boys doing it there with you, it makes it a little bit better because everyone's kind of going through the same thing that you're going through. But it was a lot, and when you have free time, you don't really get to chill. You kind of just have to keep studying that playbook because you don't want to mess up, in front of all these coaches. So I mean, it's definitely a little bit stressful, but it's just a week, so after that, you're chilling.
For sure, for sure. And a lot of we spoke to some different guys, and one of the guys that we spoke to was actually, your teammate on that team at the Senior Bowl was
Mhm.
Shepherd's quarterback Tyson Bagent, and he
Okay.
mentioned you
Yeah.
specifically as one of the guys that, he enjoyed getting to know and getting to
Yeah.
meet down in Mobile. So what was it like, getting to know him and a bunch of the other guys, throughout that process?
Yeah, me and him definitely clicked. I mean, yeah, he's the boy for sure, man. Like, he's definitely like, aside from the people who I train with at like my facility, like I would say he's probably like the closest person I've met or like that I've got to get to know at the Senior Bowl and even at the combine we were kicking it and stuff like that. And we just knew we were both like small school guys, so we kind of had that stuff to bond over. But he was actually like a really nice, good, genuine person. So I kind of feel like that's why we clicked. And yeah, I guess besides him, I mean, obviously the receivers at the Senior Bowl were like people I were more closer to than other people. But yeah, I'd say Tyson's probably like the closest dude I got to over there, even though he wasn't even in my position.
Awesome, man. And there's a little bit of it's different than college football being at the Senior Bowl, being at these practices.
Yeah.
We talked to Eric Gray and we asked him this question too. So,
Mhm.
how is it that as soon as you're done with practice, you're putting in basically an audition to be on an NFL team and make yourself some money while you're out there? A bunch of, guys like us just walk on the field and can start like pulling you and asking you questions. How is that for you
Yeah.
guys? Like, is that a weird, do you just want to get to that shower? Is that a weird experience for y'all?
Well, I don't. Maybe the big name guys, they're probably like, "Oh, I've done this a million times before." But for me, it was super cool and exciting. I mean, like dudes want to like talk to me and hear my story. It's like at Princeton, obviously, like I was like one of the better players there. So like at that institution, I had a lot of attention. But like outside of that, I didn't have that much. So after the Senior Bowl practices, I welcomed it. Like, I was like, yeah, talk to me. Like, sure. Like, it's cool to see people like notice me, and I don't mind giving that energy back. I mean, I know what it was like to be like, wanting to be like in the position I am now. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Everybody knows that doing prospect interviews, talking on a podcast 2, 3 times a week, it comes with a necessary confidence that you have to have. And one thing that really improves confidence is the new and improved Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. It has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all of these goodies. First off, the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and, dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. I am blown away by the performance and craftsmanship of this trimmer. Their 4th generation trimmer offers cutting edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. Their Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 4000K LED spotlight so you can get a more precise shave. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. If you thought that was good, but want to take your grooming even further to the next level, the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker ears and nose hair trimmer. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. The Crop Preserver below the waist deodorant and Crop Reviver below the waist toner will change the way you approach your daily hygiene routine. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts in this Performance Package 4.0, the boxers and the shed travel bag. Bring your comfort in boxers to another level. It's time to take care of yourself. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off with code WEBALL. That is WEBALL, WEBALL. Make sure to use it on your next purchase with Manscaped for 20% off. Definitely. And moving a little bit away from the Senior Bowl, but kind of a similar topic, after that was the combine. And how would you compare those two when it comes to maybe how you prepped for it or how the actual weeks went for you? How would you say those two are either the same or different?
Yeah, I mean, the prep was like physically was probably similar. Yeah, there's not, I mean, you're running routes, trying to run as fast as you can, be as strong as you can. So I don't think the preparation was too different. I guess the mental part, um, it was all that was pretty much the same. Like at the facility, it was all the same. But I guess when you were there, it's a lot different. Just you had to do like a bunch of medical stuff, and like you do have a lot more downtime at the combine, but it's a lot of waiting around and just waiting to get scanned for MRIs or X-rays. Whereas when you had downtime at the Senior Bowl, you were always doing something. But like here, you're just waiting around because you had like a million dudes to like scan, and so those days felt pretty long too. Not gonna lie.
So speaking of the combine, obviously a big talking point was your 40-yard dash because of your track background.
Right.
How has, the switch from track and football to full-time football been for you? Obviously, you got to put on some muscle. You got to get ready to go to the NFL. How has that been for you?
It's been awesome. I think like you can even see like the difference in my routes from the Senior Bowl to the combine. Just like you can like I was so much more smooth and so fluid and relaxed when I was at the combine. Just like, and I think I mean, people think I'm raw. I am rawer than like other people, but I'm not like raw. You know what I mean? I'm a good athlete and I learn things fast. So it's just I think once people see me, I think that's why I think I got a lot of hype after the combine. People were like, oh shoot, he can actually catch really well. He has good. He's fast. He's strong. He's quick. I think I'm a lot less raw than people think I am. So yeah.
Definitely. And would you say that, aside from obviously being like a fast player, somebody who runs a lot of like, deep kind of, routes and stuff down the field, would you say that there's something else maybe that you could have taken or have taken from that track background and, sort of brought with you doing football now full time, whether it's mentally or, something that's on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you first of all, we'll talk about the mental part. It's just like, I do a event that, is 7 events indoors, 10 events outdoors. And so you have a bad event, and what are you going to let that affect the 6 other events, or are you going to let that affect how many other events you have left? So it's kind of like you gotta live in the moment. You know, one rep loss isn't like a whole game loss. You know what I mean? So that definitely helps the mental aspect of it, and then the physical part. I think just running and jumping and being athletic. You know, like my highlight tape is like filled with like acrobatic catches and making dudes miss. Like especially my senior season, I think my yak got a lot better, but I'm still making acrobatic catches all the time. It's just the body control to do pole vault or like to high jump is just like is always helpful when you're just like jumping like how high in the air and trying to catch a ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And as a track guy, I have to ask, what obviously you were a heptathlete. What was your favorite event in that, which is your
Yeah.
your go-to if you had to only choose one, only can do one for the rest of
Yeah,
the
if I had
time?
to choose one, I mean, I would choose the sprints. But I would say the one that I had the most fun in. I like sprints obviously because I'm fast, like, but the pole vault and the high jump are pretty fun too. I like those two a lot. What did you run back in the day?
Man, I'm a distance kid. I'm a cross
Yeah.
country kid. Like
Okay.
dude, I can't sprint for the life of
Yeah,
me, bro. I
dude,
was
we had to do like the 1,000 like at the end of the heptathlon. That's like the worst thing ever, bro. Like anything over 400 honestly is bad for me, but like the 1,000 or like the 1,500 outdoors, no freaking way, bro. And I hate training for that stuff too, bro. It's just like it's horrible.
bro, thousands are bad for everyone. Like distance
Yeah,
kids hate those, sprinter kids hate those. Like
yeah.
it's everybody hates in 1,000. Everybody
It's
hates
right
in
in
a
the
hundred.
middle. It's right in the middle of like you got to go kind of fast, but then it's not super long distance, and it's just like damn, bro. Like yeah, it's fun.
Definitely, definitely. And moving into, this phase of your career now that you're going to be playing in the NFL, who is somebody that you would say maybe when you were younger you watched and like that's somebody that you admired, and
Yeah.
now looking at it, who's maybe a receiver that you look at and you're like, that's somebody I model my game after today?
Well, when I was younger, I really liked Julio Jones. Like I just thought he was an athletic specimen and had all the tools and used all the tools correctly to be a great receiver. And so that's what as a kid, who I wanted to be. And then now I think I like AJ Brown a lot. Like I think he is like very similar to Julio in the way that he uses all the tools that he has to be the best receiver that he can be. So I'm trying to be like those guys.
Definitely. And adding on to that a bit, is there something that, like, let's just say you're watching a guy on tape, is there something, some element of whether it's one receiver's game or just in general, something you look for when you're watching that stands out and you're like, that's what I enjoy watching when it comes to watching receiver tape?
Yeah, I mean, just like just when people use their skills correctly, like when people know their strengths and use them to their strength, obviously, like just when people use their length correctly and their speed and their quickness correctly, it's just like beautiful to watch. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just understanding themselves like perfectly is what I really like to watch.
All right, we got to ask this one. It can be Senior Bowl, it can be, college. Who was the cornerback that, was the best matchup with you? Who did you enjoy going against the most through all that?
Who I enjoyed going against the most was my friend Christian Brown. We would battle. He was in the same grade as me. He's at Howard now. He's actually going to be at our pro day at Princeton. But we did football and track together, and we would just battle it out in practice every day. And our coach, and we were roommates too, so it's super funny and it's super fun and competitive. But out on the field, probably like my sophomore year, there's this one dude from Dartmouth who his name was Isaiah Swan. He was pretty good, but I think my junior or senior year I would have cooked him. But that sophomore year he gave me a little bit of a problem. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, man. And all right, so listen, I'm just getting into anime. I know you're an anime guy. I got our
Yeah.
buddy JP, Tyler and I's buddy JP, to give me an anime comp for you, and it was Chiguri from Blue Lock.
Yeah, all my
He
boys watch Blue Lock. I was mad that I didn't watch it when you hit me up about it, bro. I was like, dang.
So the reason why is because Chiguri is the fastest on the field and he's got great hair.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we had to throw that one in there. But if you had
Thanks,
to
bro.
recommend any anime, what would it be?
Okay, so anime for people who are already a little bit in anime or people who like just want to get into
Just
anime.
want to get into it.
Okay, I would start with this one called Death Note probably. It's about this dude. It's like a how do I say it? Like a police kind of deal where it's like investigators trying to figure who's a killer. It's super interesting, but there's like a little bit of fiction in it, but not enough to be overwhelmingly anime. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be thrown in and it's just like, oh, what the hell? Like, what are these there's monsters and powers going on? Like, you want to be like, it's a little bit realistic, but a little bit fiction. It's like perfect. Yeah.
Tyler, you got another one? You're muted.
Couldn't unmute there for a second. No, honestly, I think that's about it for me.
All right, bro.
All right. I think I'll throw one more out there.
Okay.
I'll do something related to the pro day, tease that a little bit because I'm gonna be putting out a video on being there.
Okay, cool.
So we'll do that real quick.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna be at the Princeton Pro Day. What is one thing you're looking forward to showcasing at the pro day since now these scouts and people like that are coming onto your turf, coming to your home and getting to see you there with your boys?
Yeah. I mean, one thing, I mean, I'm gonna redo my vert actually at my pro day because 39, I mean, I was jumping better than that. And so I'm gonna jump much better than 39 at my pro day. And then just like watching me just with my boy, like one of my boys, Dylan Classy, he's this other receiver that like we went 1-2 in the Ivy League, and like it's just gonna be like we're playing out there again. It's gonna be good fun. I think we're gonna have good energy and just just watch me just be smooth and just catch everything, you know what I mean? Just what people came to see.
That's going to be it for the Weeball podcast. Andre, thank you for joining us. We enjoyed talking to you. We hope everybody at home enjoyed listening. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, leave a rating. 5 stars is preferred, but whatever you got to say it with your chest. We won't judge you. So that's it for the Weeball podcast, and we will see you next week.